is Iron Man fanboy back, or Isaac, for another review, and this time I will be reviewing Overkill's The Electric Age. Now, 2 years after the release of what a lot of people consider to be a thrash masterpiece or a thrash masterpiece, I, I certainly do consider that Overkill's Ironbound that came out 2 years ago, right in 2010. 2 years of working hard in the studio and touring. They do. I mean, Overkill toured a lot. On the Ironbound tour, I actually saw them twice, and I'm hoping I'm gonna see them again in the next month. But yeah, after a lot of touring and a year in the studio, they managed to come out with another studio album, The Electric Age. Now, a lot of people are like, how do you top Iron Man? Um, I remember when it came out, it received a lot of like praise by both the critics and the fans. A lot of people really dig that album. I personally consider one of the greatest thrash albums out there. Uh, it's for Overkill's catalog. Right, it's tied up right now with the Years of Decay. The production is better on Ironbound, but that's the only difference. Overall, they're just so good that no one's better than the other. But then they released the Electric Age, and if you guys know Overkill, you guys sure already know to pick this up straight from day one because Overkill is one of those bands that they do not disappoint. Whether they're whatever decade they release their albums on, they will always make sure it's a good album and it's a good thrash album. In the '80s, Feel the Fire, taking over, Under the Influence, and I think it was in the late '80s. Their what's considered to be their best album, The Years of Decay. And then even in the '90s, they kept popping out great albums like Horoscope. Then in the 2000s, Ironbound, and then I forgot the last one before Ironbound they released. But yeah, they're always gonna pump out great music, and which is why it's become one of my favorite bands of all time. Just because their live performance wise, they're an amazing band. Bobby Blitz, a lot of people say this, and it is true as I've seen them live. Bobby Blitz is probably the best frontman in metal ever. Dude's like 50 years old plus, and he's like ripped, and he has still more energy than most of the young guys that are out today. Anyway, back to the album. It's 10 tracks. Uh, I think it runs over for like an hour or a little bit less. I'm not sure. And it was released under. Yeah, never seen this label before. Let me see if I can. It says Entertainment One label here in North America. Now, if you guys are in Europe, you guys obviously got this through Nuclear Blast, Europe. 10 tracks, all amazing. Come and Get It, Electric Rattlesnake, Wish You Were Dead, Black Days, Save Yourself, Drop the Hammer Down, 21st Century Man, Old Wound Scar, all over but the shouting, and Good Night. So, uh, what they basically did was kind of like Iron Man Part 2. So, if you were one of the many who actually liked Iron Man, who loved Iron Man like I did, then you will love this album because the sound is basically the same. Production wise, it's still the same. It's like really good production on it. So it kind of sounds the same. And the songs overall, the riffing on the songs still borrows a lot from Ironbound, and I felt like if these songs, some of these songs would perfectly fit in that album as all. So it's like a perfect follow up to the album, plus more. Um, it starts out kind of the same way, like they have to get the Come and Get It starts out with like a riff that builds up, and I think they do that because of the live performance was. They like to do a song that starts out kind of slow and kind of builds up, and then it hits you with thrash. Just because when they play live, they do that so they get more suspense when the band arrives, and then when it's time to hit the full-on thrash, the lights will kick in, and you will see Overkill, like you will see everybody there in the stage, and they will start playing. So they did that with the Green and the Black too, and it totally works, you know. So come and get it. Rattles, Electric Rattlesnake. This was the track that was released. I think it's like a month before the album came out, and I instantly fell in love with the song. It's such a great song, and I think this is an extended version. I'm not sure if I listened to the track well when it first leaked, but when I listened to on the album, it seems longer and more riffs are included for some reason. And I absolutely love that because there's this part of the album where, I mean, in Electric Rattlesnake, where it hits this groove riff and like in the middle. That it's so like, it's so catchy, you know. It's so groovy, I guess. Yeah, but it has this nice groove to it, and then kicks in back to like thrash, the same element of the riff and the solo. Uh, Derek and Dave are like amazing together. Uh, they're like one of the greatest guitar teams I would consider because the rhythm are like spot on, so tight that it's really mind blowing as a guitar player to listen to them play those riffs, and it sounds so heavy coming out through the album. Uh, One thing that I think what they did with this album is I think they try to like put more of a live input to the album because much like Accept does, well not to the degree of Accept, but they actually do write they do songs where they have like chant-alongs like you to get the crowd going on. Like in Electric Snake, there's a moment there, and there is and Save Yourself. I think it's the other one, and then definitely Drop the Hammer Down. And I think they were building that more for like a live environment, so you can get the crowd going on and chanting along with the song, and it totally works. It's not to the degree of like Accept where they do it. It's like when their style is like the core. You want the anthemic chorus from Accept, but it's nice to hear an Overkill, and they do it such in a nice way that it's really good. Uh, Only track I really didn't enjoy as much as the rest of the song was All Over But the Shouting. It didn't catch me as the other tracks did. One of the things about this album is that the choruses are catchy as hell and they will like stick on your head for a good long time. I mean, like, even if you're not playing the album, you'll still have it in your head. Especially Drop the Hammer Down. Save Yourself, one of the catchiest rhythms ever. I think it's like one of the catchiest songs from this, and I would compare it to like Give a Little uh, from Iron Mountain. But yeah, it's a really good catchy chorus, and the song itself is kind of like it's not dark or thrash. It's kind of like more kind of like I won't like to say this word, but like kind of like poppy kind of thing. And like this is where you get like your doomy, slow, thrashy riff, you know, kind of Sabbathy kind of thing. From and then Good Night. It ends with Good Night. Uh, what I loved about Good Night is that it starts out with this acoustic intro, and it's a really cool listen to. And then again, it's over to full on thrash, and then it ends the way it ends. Great. I think it's like the perfect song to like end the album. Overall, this album's amazing. Bobby Blitz still blows me away. I can't believe how old the guy is and how amazing his voice is. Hate him or like him, you can't deny that Bobby has one of the most recognizable voices in thrash metal in general. A lot of it's his voice is like a mixed bag. I find with people. Some people like it, some people don't. I personally love his voice. Uh, Still sounds as well, or even better than he did back in the '80s. Um, their Dee bass line, Dee bass is still like as good as it was, and still serves a purpose in the song. Much like other basses, they don't like they will play background bass, and then you will like just basically you won't listen to it, and it will fade out. Dee bass is present there. You can hear it. And make sure you hear his through a good sound system because that's where everything comes out at you. Like if you have like an okay sound system or like, and then you're playing, you're not gonna hear like all the little things that went on. But if you put it on like speakers and then like blow it out, you're gonna hear like Dee Dee's bass and everything. Then again, Dave and Derek, amazing guitar players. Uh, Overall, I'm giving this album a 9 out of 10. As of right now, it's personally one of my favorite albums of this year. Definitely give it more listens to it, and if you don't have it already, you should definitely pick this up. It's a winter successor to Ironbound, and at some points, it's even better than Ironbound.